I feel like the hardest thing that you and I have to deal with is realizing the things that we want, and yet we are somewhere far, far away from our goals. And I think when you kind of realize none of this really means that much to you is when it becomes the hardest. Because you see the life you want to live and you dream about and want to live a different way, but you're stuck. You're stuck living in this way. And sometimes when you feel stuck, sometimes when you feel absolutely like you have nothing else, is when you either accept the fact that you can't change anything and you go with it and you try your best to make what you can of it, or it's when you change, when you want to try something new, when you want to be different, when you want to try something else and you don't know what that something else is. And when it comes down to it, what do you want? What do you genuinely want? And I'll insert like a clip from this morning that I posted or that I recorded, if I remember. I really hope I can remember. And it's just me just literally talking about that. I'll leave it and put in the clip here. This like honestly randomly came into my mind. Part of me is like, how successful do you think people would actually be if we pursued the things that we actually wanted to pursue with a deep passion? Because we actually want to do those things. And when you can have that motivation and that discipline every single day to get up with like actual excitement to get something done, what do you think we could actually achieve and accomplish? But that was like probably my most random thought of my life. But I don't know, I think we could really achieve as like a society so many things and so many better things in life if we actually just had the courage to take a leap of faith and just do something else regardless of the norm, to just be different. Because like when you can actually say that you want to do something and actually work hard for it and just say that you're proud of something, isn't that such a better life than saying like, oh, I had to do X, Y, and Z because of this and a sundry? But it's like, what if you and I finally did something that we actually wanted to do, and how great of something could actually become of it? Oh my gosh, look at this squirrel. Look at that squirrel. He's just munching. That's so fun. But I had to end it on a light note. But yeah, just do your thing, be chill, and just take life with a grain of salt. I think today's just gonna be a big compilations of my thoughts from today, because I'm literally just walking back to the science hall. It's like a 3-minute walk. Not 30, sorry. That might have sounded like 30, but 3-minute walk. And I just, sometimes I kind of just like think about like, why am I even doing this? Day in and day out, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 10, I have a class. 10 to 11, I have a class. 12:30 to 1:20, 1:30, I have a class. And I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, like, this is so redundant. But it's like, I just kind of feel like, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Don't even know if I really want this degree, but still trying to like progressively struggle through it and try to figure it out.
But I feel like at the end of the day, like, no one actually ends up figuring it out. We just make best choices based upon, like, the information that we have. And so there's never really ever a best. And, like, the really, like, pessimistic person in me is like, well, really, it's a lose-lose. But you could also look at it from the perspective of it's a win-win, because whatever decision you choose to make is leading you one step to somewhere else, and that you never really know where you're gonna end up. Oh, my shoe's untied. But anyways, yeah, I think that's my thought on my 3-minute walk. I don't know, no hot takes or anything. I'm just kind of like over it, but thankfully I'm getting a break soon. So,
but yeah, I think when we feel trapped within our cycle, we just kind of burn through our days, almost in a sense of we aren't living for anything in particularly. And I think that's the thing that really makes it the saddest part, is that you are going for something that you don't even genuinely want, but yet you feel like it's a necessity to complete it, but then you don't want anything to do with it. And I think sometimes taking a step back, what's worse? Not completing something, but then pursuing something that you've kind of been interested in, or finishing something that you have no interest in to continue that lifestyle that was never your intention. And sometimes I think it's hard when you see something so promising and you're like, I think that's what I want to do. And I see it. And then you go for it. And then you're like, maybe that's not what I was meant to do. And you just don't want it, I guess, to be the wrong choice. But in a sense, there isn't a wrong choice, just one that doesn't feel aligned with you truly. And sometimes when you're between a rock and a hard place, neither are an easy choice to make. And when you kind of want to decide, and sometimes you want to make that leap of faith and try something new, but then you're like, I'm this close to finishing. Should I just stick it out and hold it out and just see what happens? Because there's that sunken cost fallacy or theory that you've invested too much time into something, and it's not like you should go back because you've put so much time into it. But then on another hand, no one's making you feel like that other than yourself. And sometimes your answers are louder than you think they are. And when you ask someone for advice, and it's not the advice that you were looking for, it makes you realize you're seeking validation for an answer and a choice that you want to make. Because sometimes you're looking for that other person to say, go for it, you can do it. Just to have that validation that they believe in you, like you believe in yourself. And when deep down that validation was always within you, that sometimes you have to break and realize that this was never meant for you. That maybe this choice wasn't the best for you from the perspective of, I don't know, I take that back actually. Because maybe a choice was the best for you at that time. But then now that you've gained everything, maybe the purpose is done. Maybe it's time for you to change. And there's so many other things that could go wrong, could be wrong, but they're not. And I don't think that you've gotten here this far by luck. And I want you to realize how much you've changed in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years. Remembering the person who you were, the emotional state, the mental state that you were in. And you have changed for the better. Truly, wholeheartedly, and genuinely. And I just don't want you to lose hope. Because even in the grind, even in the midst of it all, you are still you. And you're allowed to be you. And I think sometimes the scariest thing is thinking of, okay, well, you don't want to do this anymore. Then what do you want to do? Food for thought.